Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. So Sony's got out the new a6000, which basically replaces the NEX-6. And I want to give you the 9 reasons you'd want to buy the a6000 over the NEX-6. In other words, the 9 new features, 9 new updates to it that make it an advancement over the NEX-6. Of interesting note here, the a6000 is one of the first cameras to lose the NEX part of the name, and it looks like Sony's making the move away from the calling cameras NEX and just amalgamating them all into the A line, the Alpha line. So that's kind of interesting in and of itself. So we've got 9 reasons, 9 things that are updated on the a6000. First and foremost, we've got a 24 megapixel sensor versus the 16 that was in the Sony NEX-6. So we've got 8 new megapixels, and continuing the trend of all the other cameras with the 24 megapixel sensor that Sony makes, which is quite a nice sensor. We basically got the sensor update here. Number 2, we've gone to Bion's X for their processing engine versus the older Bion's engine, which was in the Sony NEX-6. We've got a newer, faster processing engine, which is partly probably called for because we're moving up to a 24 megapixel sensor, so it needs a little more juice to handle that, and also probably give us faster performance, even though it's moved up the sensor as well. So not just to handle the performance of the new sensor, but to make it a speedier camera all around as an improvement. Number 3, we've got a new focusing system. So we've got 25 contrast type and 179 phase type points on the new a6000 versus the NEX-6's 25 to 99. So we've got a whole new AF system. I believe Sony's making some pretty bold claims about this being one of the fastest or the fastest focusing cameras out there. That remains to be seen, but I think it's safe to say we'll see some advancement and some betterment of the autofocus system over the NEX-6. This is usually the case. We usually see, even if it's incremental, we see an advancement over the previous bodies in the autofocus, and it's always nice to see a little faster, a little more accurate autofocus. Number 5 is the maximum burst rate for shooting, the frames per second. We've got 11 now on the a6000, and we had 10 on the NEX-6. Not a huge difference, but again, an improvement nonetheless. We're up from the NEX-6's 10. Now we're at 11 on the a6000. Next up, we've got the ability to use the zebra pattern. We've got that option now for shooting video, which was not an option on the NEX-6. So basically, we've got enhanced features on the a6000 for video, which is always welcome. More and more videos getting more and more important, more and more of a selling feature for these cameras as more and more people are doing video with their cameras. Next up then, we've also got another video feature, which is clean Hdmi output. We have that now available on the a6000, but we didn't have that available on the NEX-6. So it's an added option, an added feature benefit of the a6000 that the NEX-6 did not have. Then where are we at here? We've got the PC remote, which is now available with the a6000, and we didn't have that on the NEX-6. So again, another feature of the the a6000 over the NEX-6. That's a new feature that we didn't have before, which is welcome. Battery life. So I guess that's number 8. We're at an improved battery. They're claiming 420 shots versus 360 on the NEX-6. I don't have a percentage number here, but it sounds like it's 10 to 20% better. Always welcome. Any advantage in the battery area is always a bonus. More use, more shots, more length of time for video, and improved battery life is always better. And then the last point is the price. We're down to around $650 to $699, depending on where you buy it. I noticed here on the specs that I was looking at that one of the ads from Gear Shop is $648. Sometimes those top ads are a little bit low for what the average price would be, but I think I've seen it for between $6 and $7 on Amazon. So basically, we've dropped the price a lot for this camera because the NEX-6 I think was $1,000 when it came out with the kit lens, somewhere in that price range. Anyways, it might have been between 8 and 1,000 depending on the configuration. But we've come down in price. So that's a big advantage over the NEX-6 right there, as they've given us all these additional features, and not only that, they've dropped the price. So that's 9 features we have here, 9 advantages, 9 reasons to buy the A6000 over the Sony NEX-6. What do you think, folks? Is the A6000 of interest to you? You interested in upgrading to the A6000 over an NEX-6? Let's have a discussion on it. Leave your comments below. And thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon with some new videos, some new articles. We'll keep you up to date what's going on in the world of photography, videography, and technology right here at artoftheimage.com. Thanks a lot, folks.